Ever wonder why Japan has some of the world's most financially stable people? Without flashy cars, designer brands, or showing off, they quietly build wealth while living simple, stress-free lives. But here's the real secret. They don't just save money, they make their money work for them. Stick around because in this video, I'm revealing 15 Japanese money secrets that can help you build silent wealth without chasing trends, taking crazy risks, or working yourself to exhaustion. Number 1. Less stuff, more value. How the Japanese spend smart. In Japan, people don't just buy things for the sake of it. They prefer to own a few high-quality items rather than filling their homes with stuff they don't actually need. Think about it like this. Would you rather have one really well-made pair of shoes that last for years or 5 cheap pairs that fall apart in a few months? This mindset isn't about being cheap. It's about being intentional with money. Instead of impulse buying the latest gadgets or trendy clothes, they take a step back and ask, do I really need this? Will it add value to my life? If the answer is no, they skip it. By focusing on quality over quantity, they not only save money in the long run, but also create a lifestyle that's less cluttered and more stress-free. Number 2, the let's see if I still want it rule. Ever wanted something so badly only to lose interest a few days later? That's exactly why many people in Japan follow a simple trick, waiting 72 hours before making a big purchase. Let's say you spot an expensive watch or the latest phone. Instead of swiping your card right away, you give it 3 days. If after that time you still feel like you genuinely need it, and not just because of hype or impulse, then it might be worth buying. But most of the time, you'll realize you don't care about it as much as you thought. It's like craving a dessert. At the moment, it feels like you have to have it, but if you wait a little, the craving usually fades. This simple habit helps people avoid buyer's remorse and keep more money in their pockets without feeling deprived. Number 3, saving like it's a monthly bill. In Japan, people don't treat saving money as an afterthought. It's just as important as paying rent or electricity. Instead of waiting to see what's left at the end of the month, they set aside money for emergencies first, almost like it's a bill they have to pay. Think of it like this. Imagine you get your paycheck and instantly move a small chunk into a just-in-case fund. No second guessing, no debating, just automatic. That way, when life throws a surprise expense your way, like a sudden car repair or medical bill, you're not scrambling to put it on a credit card and drowning in debt later. It's like carrying an umbrella even when it's sunny. You might not need it today, but when the storm hits, you'll be glad you have it. Number 4, playing the long game with money. In Japan, making money isn't about chasing quick wins. It's more like planting a tree. You water it, give it time, and let it grow instead of expecting instant results. That's why many Japanese people prefer to invest in things that build wealth over time, like stocks, bonds, and real estate. Think of it like cooking a good meal. You could throw something in the microwave and have it ready in 2 minutes, but it won't be as satisfying as a slow-cooked dish packed with flavor. Investing works the same way. The longer you let it grow, the stronger it gets. Instead of trying to double their money overnight, they focus on steady, reliable growth. And it's not flashy, but it works. And in the end, slow and steady usually wins the race. Number 5, why rely on one paycheck when you can have more? In Japan, people don't just depend on one job to make a living. They like having a little extra cash flowing in from different places. It's called shuji gigging, which is just a fancy way of saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. For example, someone might have a regular 9-to-5 job, but also teach a language online, sell handmade crafts, or rent out a spare room. These side gigs aren't just about making more money. They're about having a safety net. If one income stream dries up, they've got another to fall back on. It's like having multiple chargers for your phone. If one breaks, you've still got backups. And over time, these small extra incomes can add up to something big, giving them more financial freedom and security. Number 6, 𝐶𝐞, the simple trick to keep your money in check. Ever feel like your money just disappears and you have no idea where it went? The Japanese have a simple way to fix that. It's called 𝐶𝐞. No complicated apps, no spreadsheets, just good old-fashioned pen and paper. Here's how it works. At the start of the month, you write down how much money you have, what you need to spend, and how much you want to save. Then as the month goes on, you track every expense by hand. Sounds basic, right? But that's the whole point. When you physically write something down, you notice patterns and start thinking twice before spending on things you don't really need. It's like keeping a food diary. And once you see everything you're eating, you're less likely to grab that extra snack. The same goes for money. And over time, this simple habit can help you save way more than you'd expect. Number 7, don't let your money just sit there. Make it work for you. Saving money is great, but here's the thing. The Japanese don't just stash their cash in a regular bank account and forget about it. Why? Because money sitting idle is like a car parked in the garage. You have it, but it's not getting you anywhere. Instead of letting their savings collect dust, they put their money to work. Some choose high-yield savings accounts that offer better interest, while others invest in stocks, bonds, or retirement funds. The idea is simple. If your money isn't growing, it's actually losing value over time, thanks to inflation. Think of it like planting a seed. If you just hold on to the seed, nothing happens. But if you plant it in the right soil and take care of it, you get a tree that keeps growing, and maybe even gives you fruit. That's exactly what smart investing does for your money. Number 8, keep learning, keep earning. The Japanese have a simple mindset when it comes to making more money. The more you learn, the more you earn. They don't stop picking up new skills just because they finish school. Instead, they're always looking for ways to improve. Whether it's learning a new language, mastering a tech skill, or understanding how businesses work. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. The more skills your character has, the stronger and more valuable they become. The same applies in real life. If you keep upgrading your knowledge, better opportunities and better pay will come your way. And it doesn't mean you have to go back to school or spend a fortune. Many Japanese professionals take online courses, read books, or even watch YouTube tutorials to stay ahead. It's a simple habit, but over time, it can make a huge difference in your income and financial future. Number 9, keeping it simple, no matter how much you make. Just because you start making more money doesn't mean you have to start spending more. In Japan, a lot of people stick to the same simple lifestyle even when their income increases. Instead of rushing to buy a bigger house, a fancier car, or the latest gadgets, they focus on growing their wealth, not their expenses. It's like this. Imagine you get a raise. Most people immediately think, great, now I can afford that expensive watch or upgrade my phone. But in Japan, many people would instead think, great, now I can save or invest more. This way, their financial cushion keeps growing, and they don't fall into the trap of paycheck to paycheck living, no matter how much they earn. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about making sure that when you do spend, it's on things that actually add value to your life, not just temporary excitement. Number 10, building wealth together, not alone. In Japan, money isn't just a solo game, it's a team effort. Instead of competing with each other, families and communities focus on growing together. Wealth is something they pass down, not just in the form of money, but also in smart financial habits. Think of it like this. Instead of one person trying to climb a ladder alone, everyone in the family helps each other up. Parents teach their kids about saving and investing from an early age. Grandparents pass down lessons on financial discipline. And when someone in the family needs help, whether it's buying a home or starting a business, others pitch in, knowing that strong finances benefit everyone in the long run. It's not just about personal success, it's about making sure everyone moves forward together. Number 11, the quiet strength of living below your means. In Japan, you'll find that some of the richest people don't show it. No flashy cars, no oversized mansions, just simple, comfortable living. Why? Because they'd rather have real financial security than waste money trying to impress others. Think about it like this. Imagine two people. One spends every dollar on luxury brands, fancy restaurants, and expensive gadgets. The other drives a reliable car, eats home-cooked meals, and invests the extra cash. 10 years later, who do you think is in a better financial position? That's the mindset many wealthy Japanese people follow. They keep expenses low, avoid unnecessary debt, and focus on growing their money quietly instead of showing it off. Number 12, buying property the smart way. In Japan, people don't just buy a house because it's the next step in life. They take their time, study the market, and make sure it's a smart financial move. Think of it like picking fruit. You wouldn't grab the first apple you see. You'd check if it's ripe, fresh, and worth taking home. It's the same with real estate. Instead of buying a home just to say they own one, many Japanese investors focus on properties that make money, whether that's through rental income or long-term appreciation. It's not about buying fast. It's about buying right. Number 13, spending money you actually have. In a lot of places, swiping a credit card feels normal, even if the money isn't really there. But in Japan, it's a different story. People prefer to use cash or debit cards, meaning they're only spending what they actually own. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at a restaurant, and instead of ordering whatever you want and figuring out how to pay later, you check your wallet first. If you've got enough for sushi, great. If not, maybe you go for ramen instead. This mindset helps people stay out of unnecessary debt and keeps their finances under control. Because let's be real, interest charges can drain your money faster than you think. Number 14, thinking about retirement early, like really early. Most people don't start worrying about retirement until they hit their 40s or 50s, when it suddenly feels way too close. But in Japan, the approach is different. People start planning for retirement as soon as they begin earning money. It's kind of like planting a tree. If you start early, you give it time to grow. And by the time you actually need shade, it's already there. That's why many Japanese workers invest in pension funds, real estate, or long-term assets from a young age. They're not banking on figuring it out later. They make small, consistent investments early on, so they don't have to stress about money when they're older. Number 15, wealth is a slow game, and that's the point. Building wealth isn't like winning the lottery. It's more like growing a bonsai tree. It takes patience, care, and consistency over time. The Japanese understand this well. Instead of looking for quick money or risky shortcuts, they focus on small, smart financial habits that add up over the years. They save diligently, invest wisely, and avoid unnecessary debt. And because they stick to these habits for decades, financial freedom becomes inevitable. It's not about making one big move. It's about making the right small moves consistently. Now, here's the most important part. These aren't just Japanese secrets. Anyone can apply them. Imagine combining these habits, budgeting smarter, spending less, investing consistently, and avoiding debt. Over time, you wouldn't just be financially stable, you'd be financially free. And the best part? You wouldn't have to stress about money ever again. At the end of the day, building silent wealth is about discipline, patience, and smart financial habits, not luck or shortcuts. If you found these money secrets valuable, hit the like button and drop a comment below. Which one of these habits do you already follow? And which one are you going to start today? And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more game-changing financial strategies to help you grow your money the smart way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.